Okay, so when you're designing the game, they show all the sprites that you have available to you. The tools you'll use is the move tool, the wrench tool. The eyedropper tool actually lets you copy and paste. So the things that you'll need is a timer. You'll need points. It tells you which blocks you need. There are already 47 gray blocks there, but you got to put some others. And so when you're ready to start building your game, those are the minimum requirements. So you'll start building. This is kind of what it starts out with, and so you just kind of want to design around that. I'm going to start making a really tough red block section. So this will be the tougher part of my game, and red indicates kind of danger, so that's why I'm going to use the red block. And so I've done that. The minimum requirement was 1, so I'm going to do more than that just to kind of build out a wall around these 6 enemies down here. So I'm using the eyedropper. I could do a copy paste, or I could just do the wrench. So the long way is using the wrench tool and dragging them over, but I'm about to show you that you can use. Okay, so now just putting my red blocks down, and instead of going the long way, I'm going to use my dropper for copy paste, and that's going to make it a lot easier when you're doing multiple blocks. And then I can move these using the move tool, which looks like an arrow. So I'm going to arrange these so that there's kind of a hallway of red blocks. I'm going to surround these enemies, and I believe these enemies are going to be moving up and down. So difficulty level a little higher, because I'm going to put some points down into this Hall of Terror, if you will. So I'm going to move a couple points down right there. And then the next step in my design, I want to make sure that the points are where I want them. So you need a minimum of 50 according to the requirements. So I'm not going to delete any of these points. I'm just going to rearrange them using the moving tool. And so I think my next step here is I'm going to make kind of another hallway, but use the blue blocks. And blue is kind of just a calming color for the most part. So I'm going to make it really easy to get these points. So I'll probably surround it with blue blocks. And just make one little opening into this section, so that's kind of a fast way of getting my points. So using the eyedropper, I can put my blue blocks down, so that's kind of half the section that I want to do, I think. Let's see, what else? I'm going to move some things around, make sure I'm getting my minimum requirements. So at some point I'm going to have to do a light blue block as well, and maybe adjust my timer. I've already got 10 enemies out there, so I think I'm good there. So I'm just going to use the move tool to get some of these points where I want them. Oh no, first, yeah, let's get those, the light blue. I'm going to get the light blue section out of the way so I don't forget. So I've got red blocks, I've got light blue blocks, I've got the dark navy blocks, and so that's meeting those minimum requirements. And so this is kind of medium level to get these points over here, and I think these enemies are going to be moving up and down as well. I could adjust the speed if I want to. And that can increase the difficulty level as well, depending on if I made them faster. I could make their path random or predictable. So use the wrench tool, click on an enemy, and so that's where you can see the direction they go, their movement style, so straight or some sort of patrol. You can make them turn, and you can change their speed. So right now I'm just increasing their speed just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to see what these guys are at. So do I want to make any changes? Probably not, because the position of those points and the amount of enemies is kind of the difficulty level in that red section. So, looks like the framework of my level here is getting pretty close. Let's use the move tool and get these points where I want them, because I'm going to make kind of the, like I said, the hall of points that are easy to get to. Put some of these down here just so my points are spread out, since I've got 50 to work with. And so that's looking pretty good. Let's put a few of these, a few more of these down here, and then I'll probably fill in this hallway of light or navy blocks. Yeah, so I'll fill those in. So I'll put less down here and more in that hallway. That's what I was thinking. So that looks pretty good. Just trying to make this a balanced game. So now I'm gonna use my copy-paste eyedropper to fill in the rest of the navy blocks. So that's looking pretty good. I don't want to close it completely. I need to make sure I can get in there. So I'm gonna leave that one blank right there. So cool, I've got the top section, navy blocks. I've got my red danger section, which is kind of the most difficult part. I've got my light blue blocks. So I've used all those. So now let's test this thing out. Make sure it is passable. So this is a little difficult because you have to like time it a little differently without getting hit. So far I don't have a health meter, so that kind of makes it a little too easy, because I can just take all the damage in the world and still pass this game, except for the time. I didn't give myself enough time. So that tells me that I've got to make an edit on that. And so I'm going to use my wrench tool and change that out. And so I just need a little bit more time, I think. So I think I'm going to change this to 30 seconds. And so we can save that, and we'll play again and see if that change made the difference and being able to... Okay, so let's see if this extra 5 seconds is going to help me out. Again, I don't have to worry about damage because I haven't set that yet, so I can get hit all I want. So I might want to tweak that because I don't want the level to be too easy. And so my guy, he's going to have enough time to get all these points, and that was pretty good. So probably too easy. Like, the time limit does make it a little more challenging, but I think I want to do a health meter of some sort, so we'll do that. And let's see, do I want to do damage 3 or do I want to go a little higher? Do I want 5? Do I want 3? No, let's keep it at 3. And let's test this out, and if I can beat this level with the time and the damage, then I think we got a pretty good level 1. And then we can move on. I think I'm going to make a 3-level game, so this is just level 1 for me. So 2 damage, so now I got to be careful, but it's okay. That's part of the strategy. Get over here, get my points, and I was able to pass it, so that's good. Some of the other things, so I can publish it, they're asking you to make sure that you've got your title, your intro. You can change all this as far as the intro of the text and everything. So I'm going to publish that so that I can get a link and people can actually play it. So here it is in the workshop section, and so you would click on your game, and this is how you would get your link. So we'll do this next week and actually share our links in class so that other people can play our game, and you're going to be able to get feedback and give feedback to other people's games. And that's it.